Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this side slurp. The other week I did a little slurp Q&A here on my side channel, and people seemed to like it. People asked for more, and so here is more. I have some tea. Yep, that's tea. Decaf green, in case you're wondering. And I asked in the Discord for some questions, so let's take a little look. If you could remove only one social norm from society and erase it from everyone's mind, what would it be? Good question. Good, strong start. Good question. What social norm would I erase? There's so many. I think making sure that you've said goodbye to everybody at a social gathering, I would just eliminate. Because when I'm ready to leave, I just kind of want to slip out unnoticed and just let everybody get on with their night and enjoy themselves. Do you have a bucket list? And if so, what is one thing you hope to accomplish on it? You know what? I don't have a bucket list. I guess I would like to see an erupting volcano in person. I think that would be pretty neat. Obviously not up close. I'd want to be a safe distance away. Fuji is going mad with a banana over there. Are you enjoying your banana? What advice would you give to your past self and your future self? I think if I could tell my past self something, I think I would try and pinpoint PJ in his early teens, and I would just say, look, mate, look, there are going to be people who are going to give you a hard time for no real reason at all, and your reaction is to take that quite emotionally. It's going to be quite upsetting. So I'd want to say, engage the logical side of your brain now. Understand that logically, these people are earthworms, and they mean nothing. What's your favorite item of clothing you own and why? Right now, I would have to say my favorite item of clothing is this. In my last slurp, I wore my red cardigan that Lazy Oaf sent me. Well, they also sent me this pink cat fleece, and I've been wearing it everywhere. But I'm getting a lot of compliments from random people, and I'm not used to getting in-person compliments, so I never quite know how to react. I just say, oh, thank you, and just shuffle away awkwardly. What's your opinion on boxes of tangled cables? Well, obviously I hate them, but I also see them as a challenge, waiting to be conquered. No, who am I kidding? I hate them. I fucking hate them. Cables, it's mad. It's 2025, and cables are still getting tangled. I will admit there are worse problems going on in the world, but that really gets my goat. What draws you back to Stardew so often? So it's no secret that I love Stardew Valley. It's such a comforting game to play, but it's also a challenge every time I play it as well. What big thing can I achieve this time? It's almost kind of like that speedrunner's mentality without really speedrunning, where you want to try and just get as much out of the game as you can, as quickly as possible, really push it to its limits. I enjoy the variety of challenges that it poses to you. There's so many different things you can do in different orders, and I cannot wait for Concerned Ape's next game. Your desert island video game. Well, I can't say Stardew Valley after what I just said, can I? That'd be very boring, wouldn't it? I can only take one video game with me. What's it gonna be? You know what? I'll say Hollow Knight Silk Song, because that way, at least I'll get to fucking play it. That is just a joke. I'm in no way rushing the developers. Take your time, Team Cherry. Take your time. Make it as great as it needs to be. But releasing soon, maybe? What's your current favorite movie or your movie of the year so far? There's this Canadian filmmaker called Matt Johnson who I have recently become quite obsessed with. I've been watching his entire discography. Is that the right word for films? Filmography? What's discography? Do I need to Google this? Have I just made a massive blunder? A list of sound recordings by an artist group or an orchestra. Great, I've made an absolute fool of myself. I meant filmography. Did I mean that? I don't know what I meant. I've been watching all of his films. I think he's really, really talented and has such a cool, unique filmmaking style. So I watched Nirvana, the band, the show, which I love. It was absolutely hilarious. I'm on my second rewatch already because it's just so exactly my kind of thing. Then I watched a film he made called Blackberry, which I also really liked, which is about BlackBerry, the phone, but it's also about more than that. It's more about the people than the phone itself. It was very, very good. I would highly recommend it. I went back and watched his first film as well, The Dirties, which was also really, really incredible. And then the other night I watched Operation Avalanche, which is another film he made. The thing that's really capturing me about his films is that his style is very like using the reactions of the public who don't realize they're part of a movie, which I think is really interesting. But the thing I like is they don't really exploit the public. It's not like they're playing a prank on the public. They embody these characters and then they go into public spaces and they're almost doing like a play, and it's just so interesting to see how people react to that and how people get involved. And Matt says a lot how you get the most natural performances from people when they don't realize they're being filmed. So his mum is briefly in his first film, The Dirties, but she didn't know she was being filmed, and so she acts incredibly naturally. Whereas if he said to her, okay, so we're gonna do a scene where you need to say this kind of thing, he says that he would never have got the performance he got. And when I say it like that, I realize it does sound a little bit maybe insidious, filming people without their knowledge. But I think if you watch his stuff, you'll understand and you'll see that it is a lot more innocent than that. And of course, afterwards, if it's necessary, they'll do release forms and tell people, hey, by the way, we've just done this, you're a part of it. I would just say, check this guy out. I think he is really brilliant and he seems like such a genuinely lovely guy. Check his stuff out. Tea's getting cold. That was a long answer, PJ. Tea's getting cold. What is your go-to meal deal? What is my go-to meal deal? I don't really do the meal deal. I don't want to say I'm above a meal deal, but a meal deal feels almost like a trap. It's like they're telling you it's a deal, therefore it's a deal. Well, how do I know it's a deal? Also, sometimes I don't want a sandwich and a crisps and a drink. Sometimes I just want a croissant and be on my way. If you could be an animal for one day, what would you be and why? I would be a cat. So I could hang out with Fuji for a day and follow her around, see where she goes. Or I'd be like a deep sea ocean creature so I can swim down to the very depths of the ocean and see what's going on down there. What's your chili recipe, PJ? Just Google it. Just Google it. It's not that special. It's a vegetarian chili recipe. Calm, PJ, calm. We're calm. We're indoor voices. Nighttime voices. This is my nighttime voice. I can't remember it. Are there any games you're expecting or hoping to be released on the new Switch? Of course, I want to see my Metroids and my Marios, but I think my number one dream is some Donkey Kong content. Some Donkey Kong-tent, if you will. I want to see a new 3D platformer Donkey Kong. I have a big soft spot in my heart for Donkey Kong 64, and they never really did anything else like Donkey Kong 64, so I would love to see something like that. Will they do that? No. What are your Oscar nomination thoughts? My big, hot Oscar nomination thoughts are this. When it comes to the Oscars and award shows in general, it does not excite that part of my brain that gets excited and obsessed with things, and I want to find out every detail, I want to follow it, I want to see what happens. I simply don't care. And I kind of wish I did, because I love film, I love watching films and talking about films with my friends, but when it comes to the awards, I just feel nothing. I look at the list of the films that are nominated, and my brain doesn't do that thing. And I know what that thing feels like, because I feel it with so many things. Can you remember the hardest you've ever laughed, and what was it about? I don't know if I can remember specifically what it was, but I am positive that it would have been something with Chris Kendall. We would have been hanging out late one night. See, even now, I'm laughing now. And I don't even know, I'm not laughing at anything in particular. The idea of hanging out with Chris makes me laugh. I worry that maybe he's Pavloved me, because he's the kind of person who I can hang out with, and it doesn't matter what is being said, but I'm so giddy around him. So that's interesting. That is funny. Well, that's the end of my tea, but I'm not done slurping yet. I'm gonna answer some more questions. I'm enjoying myself, so let's do some more. What non-media job do you think you'd like most if you hadn't got into media? Media is quite broad, so I'm gonna take that as like, if I wasn't working in a field where I'm working towards the creation of things, be it videos, games, video games, artwork, whatever my brain wants to make. I think I would still want to work in like a friendly, creative environment, but it maybe be something like in a games shop. Like, I love my local card game shop because the owner himself plays games with us. He'll play Magic the Gathering with us. I think that's really cool, and I can really like see that as being something that I think I would have liked. You run your card shop, maybe you could call it like Heart of the Cards. No, Fart of the Cards. And yeah, just have a good time with your customers. What if Yoda had a wife, like a sexy wife? Well, this isn't a what if situation. This exists. Her name is Yaddle, and she's half Yoda's age. Now, don't be alarmed when you hear me say that, because Yoda is 1,000 years old. So Yaddle is 500 years old. We were trying to work out on stream if this is creepy or not. It really all depends on when they got together. I would like to ideally not cancel Yoda. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. Why are we talking about this? You know, he lives on a fucking swamp planet. You know, he needs to take what he can get. It can't be easy. Dating on Dagobah cannot be easy. That would be a great name for a TV show. Dating on Dagobah. Yes. Do your thing, internet. As a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up? When I was a kid, I really, really wanted to be an actor. I think a lot of kids probably want to be an actor. I think you watch movies, particularly like comedy movies, stuff like Ace Ventura, which I probably shouldn't have been watching as a kid, and you're just like, that seems like the most fun job in the world. Getting to play for a living sounds amazing. But not just that, because I don't think I quite understood what having a job meant as a kid. It was more the idea of bringing other people happiness through being silly. I want to be silly as a job. And that's not a million miles away from where I ended up. So yeah, that's the slurp, everybody. The tea's all gone, and now so am I. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.